All right, so today I'm going to be talking to you all about the preparation work that we do for getting ready for a cruise. Hey there, everybody, this is Nick, and I am with CNF Cruise Show. We are Cruising Family, and we're a channel all about cruising, family life, and all the things that we kind of get into and enjoy. Welcome and enjoy. It should seem simple enough, right? You book a cruise, you check in, you get on the ship. That's all you need, right? I would love to say that's true. And hopefully you don't stress about the other things that go into getting ready for your cruise. Now, depending on how far out you've booked, let's say you've booked more than a year out, there's going to be a lot of downtime, low time for that preparation work. Okay. And the first thing that's on the list of preparation is booking the cruise. Sometimes you're like, I want the perfect itinerary or I want the perfect cabin. And there's a little bit of the work that goes into it. So make sure that you settle on one that you're excited about, that the family members or the people that are coming with you are good with, and you found your good itinerary. Checking out those itineraries can take a little bit of work, especially if you don't know which itinerary you want to do or which cruise ship you want to do. So first on my list is booking the cruise. So hopefully you make the most of booking your cruise. All right, so now you've booked your cruise. Now is time to do some research about what you're going to do on your cruise. The further out we are, the more likely I am to look at excursions. And you might be thinking, that doesn't sound right. But I like to kind of get that done before other stuff because it's kind of the meaty parts of the trip. And finding an excursion or two, for me, is better than having an excursion every single stop. Because I also like to just enjoy either the port and not do much other than just go into the port or enjoy the cruise ship itself. But finding your excursions, and not just the excursion that you want, but everybody in your group wants. Things that people that are going to enjoy and look forward to. So definitely early on in your cruise preparation work, consider what excursions you're going to do. Consider what excursions everybody's going to get behind and going to enjoy. Next up on my kind of walkthrough list is the accommodations for the time before and how we're going to get to that cruise ship. Taking care of those are two big stressors. And the reason that I put them high on the list is once you have that taken care of, you can start to think about the details of the cruise ship itself, and then some of your packing list and those other things. Okay, so find a place that's close by or in the area that you want to stay before the cruise. Make sure that is relatively close by to the cruise terminal. It really depends on where you're traveling from, where you're traveling to, and how much road work you want to do on the day of, or the road traveling you want to do on the day of your cruise. So, for instance, we've gone out of Long Beach and stayed in Anaheim, which is about an hour away. So some people are like, oh, that's too far. But for us, it cut down the trip considerably and made for a short trip the morning of. So, and then other people like to be right next to the cruise terminal. But it really depends on what you want and what you're looking for. Next up, I'm gonna say, think about the packages that you're looking at purchasing. Okay, maybe you want an unlimited dining package like through Royal, or a drink package, or whatever it may be. What are you going to encounter, right? What are you going to need? And, if budget's a concern of yours, do kind of an analysis of this is the cost versus what it would be if I did it a la carte. And sometimes the stress of trying to plan it out and 6 on this day, 3 on that day, rather than just being like, what, I've already taken care of it. So really put that into perspective. All right, so about 3 months out, consider the clothing that you're going to need, right? If it's a cruise to Alaska, your packing list is going to look very different than a cruise to Aruba, right? You may end up taking some of the same clothes, but your packing list is going to look different. Your clothing list will look different, just because of the needs of the ports that you're going to. So, but within 3 months, start to consider what you have, what you need, and what you still need to get. And sometimes what you have and what you need don't necessarily equate to everything that you need to get, right? But give yourself a little bit of time so that you're not scrambling a week before to find the perfect swimsuit or the perfect suit, right? The perfect blazer. Make sure that you leave yourself a little bit of time. You don't want to have to do last minute clothes shopping for your cruise. One thing that you might be like, hey, I'm really into the duck scene, I want to try the ducks, then you're probably going to want to grab those ducks within 2 months of cruising, and start that process of duck tagging, duck organizing, and all of the duck stuff. We don't usually duck. We haven't usually ducked. We've gotten into it a lot more in recent cruises. But definitely leave yourself a little bit of time because it does take time. And likewise, if you're going to be going, if you have like a Facebook group, it's like a gift exchange. Make sure that you're purchasing those a month or two in advance so that you give yourself some time to organize all that stuff. And also really consider, hey, I'm bringing this extra stuff on board. What suitcases are going into? Am I flying a long distance? Am I going to have to get a whole suitcase? Consider those things. But definitely about 2 months out, look for things like your gift exchange or your ducks or whatever. All right. So about a month and a half out, start to consider all of your technology needs. If you're a vlogger, you're definitely going to want to make sure that your things are in working order, your batteries are set, and all that stuff. If you're not, you definitely want to make sure that you still have like your camera taken care of. If it's not important to you, then you can just skip this part of my packing list. Within a month, within the last 2 to 3 weeks, you want to start to gather your toiletries. I start making a packing pile about 2 weeks out from when we're leaving. My wife would prefer for it to be like 2 days before, but it helps me organize in my head so that I don't forget things. She feels like that makes her forget things. So really consider what that means to you. But if you have things that along the way you're like, oh, I'm going to bring this on the cruise, I don't want to use it before then, start to gather them into one central place, so that when it comes time to actually packing, you're ready for it. About that month out, maybe even a month and a half out. Sorry, I'm rewinding a little bit. I jumped ahead. You're going to want to make sure that your travel documents are secured and ready to be used. I would say before your check-in time, make sure that you have them, so that you're ready for that, and then put them in a place where you're not going to be like, where did I put it? Right? Make sure that you have those travel documents. They are, although you don't use them in the pool, you definitely need them to get into the pool. The last week or so before you leave, you're probably going to want to make sure that you go to Target or your local grocery store, or wherever you get your toiletries, and make sure that you have some of those available. Make sure that you have plenty of sunscreen. Make sure that you bring the necessities of the location. Like if you're going to a place where it's picturesque, you have your binoculars, the other things that need to make it into the luggage, but don't necessarily get thought of all the time. But make sure that it gets into your packing pile so that it's ready to go when it's time to go. Okay. So what should go on your packing list? Really, the things that you need to live with. You need to live that you need to have in order to be comfortable. I don't want to say, oh, you only need to pack polos and you never wear polos, right? You only need to pack sandals and running shoes if you never ever wear sandals. But go put on the list the things that are going to make you comfortable on your cruise. It's your vacation as much as everyone else, and be prepared for the many circumstances of being on vacation. There might be a fancy night that you want to get dressed up for. You might go to the ocean and you want to go snorkeling. Hey, do you have snorkeling gear that you can bring along? It might save you a little bit of money. All of the things that are going to help keep you in a good frame of mind and on vacation, and all those circumstances should make it onto your list. But make sure that you're staggering it out and giving yourself plenty of time along the way, because the days go by quicker than we think. So I gotta say thank you so much to everybody that watched this video. If you made it all the way to the end here and you're still watching, please give yourself a pat on the back, and also consider liking this video. If you enjoy the stuff that I've talked about here or in other videos, consider liking our channel or subscribing to our channel, and keep following along. I'm all about bringing you information that you can find valuable. The reason I do that is because that's how I also get ready for cruising. That's how I also enjoy building up my base of knowledge for my own vacation. So hopefully something that I talked about was valuable to you, and thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day. Goodbye.